Hi, everybody. I am finally giving this YouTube thing a chance, see how this works. Just beginning to see how tired I look here. And I thought I would do 3 card readings. I'm here at my store, so the computer allows me to do a lot more here as opposed to what I was doing over on Facebook. So I just wanted to give this a try. So I'm going to do probably for a little while I'm here 3 card readings. Okay. And I was thinking about keeping the readings here and do a lot more of the heavy study stuff back on my Facebook tarot and divination forum. So if anybody's here, I only see one person so far at this point. If you would, in the comments section, let me know what your question is, and I'll give this a try. All righty, and we'll be able to do more if this all works out well and it's successful. I'll be able to do an awful lot more. So anybody who may be out there, if you would give me some questions and we'll take it from there. So until I get that, I am going to do an advice reading here. All righty. So I'm pulling out. Okay, here we go. I have to go to court today. How do you think it will go? Okay, good one. All right, hon. So I'm going to get started on yours. And let me throw these out. So going to court today. So the Strength card has come up. The Two of Pentacles has come up. And the Devil has come up. So let's look at this. So the Strength card has to do with strength, but look into this deeply. Now I'm using the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, okay? So you could see that it's strength, but we're talking about gentle strength. We're not talking about, beating somebody up type of strength. This has to be gentle strength, because take a look at her. She's looking into the lion's mouth. The lion is letting her do that willingly. So the strength you need to do, but in a gentle way. All righty. So we have the Strength card. And now we have this person juggling pentacles, which has to do with earth and or money. And you can see he's on one foot, and you can see that water is, there's waves, it's unsettled and everything. Figuring out how to find a balance between things that are going on in your life now. That could mean work with home with spirituality. It's juggling around another thing that around either revolves around earth and or money. Okay, so learning to juggle things and finding that balance in between. Now, this card came up. All righty. So the Devil has to do with the chains that you need to break away from. Okay, so if you see the 2 people there, hey, Maria. So if you see the 2 people that we have here, all right, this is the Death card. You could see that they're chained to that podium, but they can easily get out of those chains. All righty. And if you see the Devil's hands, one hand is up, one hand is below, as above, so below. So when I see this and mean that the question had to do about court, how about examining the situation and see what maybe, I don't want to say like repeated bad behaviors, but things that you could look at that could be done better. Now, I'm going to actually throw another card. I want to see if we're talking about you or the person that you're going to court for. Okay, Knight of Pentacles. So it has to do with money. I think it's going to go good overall. I wanted to clarify this. So if tarot is advice, pay attention to triggers. It's very childlike when, somebody can provoke you, poke, and, let that inner child come out. In this case, since it's there, temper your feelings, and you should do well in court today. All righty. And I say that because of this. So, Jen, do you think that answered it really well? I'm really hoping there. Maria, Do you have a question for me? Like I said, I'm practicing here on YouTube today, see how this all works out. And by the way, do you hear me well enough? I want to know if I have the volume high enough and need to adjust this. All righty. So any other questions? If I don't see anything here, okay. Yes, I do. Suing my ex got excellent, excellent, excellent. So to me, this looks good. Fantastic, Jen. All right, so it actually looks good. Just, examine the situation and don't allow your emotions, to get the better of you when you're in there, okay? So, Maria, do you have anything? Otherwise, I'm just going to do an advice of the day thing and see what we've got here. All righty. So, all right. In the meantime, I'm going to do this. So, now I got the moon today, and go figure that today is full moon. So, I guess the suggestion is to make sure that I do, hey, Els. So, this is advice today, and go figure I got the moon. I think that was pretty clear cut that I have to make sure I make sense. Yes, awesome. You're welcome, honey. Alrighty. So advice of the day, I got the moon card, everybody. So that means pay attention. And that moon was stunning last night, but I didn't get to do a ritual last night. So I will do a little something today. So advice of the day for all of you is to make sure that you also do that. Alrighty. At the very least, take a nice little piece of moonstone or selenite and go out into the sun and charge your stuff, charge your crystals and stuff like that. So, Maria, I'm going to look at yours. Opening a new chapter in my life. What do I need to know? Okay, so let's go with this. And, okay, Maria, I'm throwing down 3 cards for you now. So the first card I got is the Page of Swords. All right? He's ready there with the sword, ready to tackle anything, almost like the Fool card in a way, right? Because pages are learning their way around. Page wants to be like the knight and king and queen. So Maria, this is all about possibility. All righty. Now we have the King of Wands. Now, Maria, since I know a little bit about what's going on, I associate wands with education, your craft, the things that cause your brain cells to pop. So to me, that's a no-brainer because you really are on top of your game. So I'm looking at that. And the next card, let's look at this. So, Maria, I want you to think, you can answer it. If not, you know what I mean? With all of this possibility, why does it say that there is still unresolved stuff, that, in other words, stuff that you need to break away from or cut away from? It's saying cut away from the things that hold you back. All righty. The 2 first cards look amazing. And it says you're on top of your game. So if there's still something that holds you back, but it's not as deep as, it's not as bad as you think, because if you wiggle up against a sword, you can cut yourself out, even if you get hurt just a little bit. You know what I mean? It could be anything from standing your own ground, maybe a little bit more space that you need to do, or not allowing people to take too much of your, you're doing a cord cutting tonight. Look at that. It's a good thing we did that. This one, it's the reason why I wanted to do this, because it is the full moon tonight. And what was it, at 12/12 on 10/12? So it's a pretty powerful moon. So think about doing some workings tonight. So Maria, looking at this, as long as you do that, it looks amazing. All righty. Because the first 2 cards are all about you being on your game. And now the next step is to cut away what you no longer need. All righty. So that is a good one. All righty. Jen, no, not a no public ritual today. Okay. I actually have family coming to me tonight. So I just put up a video about that. That's awesome. And Maria, if you want, put the link to that video here in the comments so people can say, oh, no. Baby shark, I can't even. That's a running joke with my family. I'm just letting you know that right now. Okay, so let me look at L's and what L's would like here. I have a question when you have a chance. I am getting more focused in my spiritual journey and was wondering what I should be. I kind of figured it was you when I saw Baby Shark, Brandon. I'm getting more focused on my spiritual journey and was wondering what I should be mindful of. And yes, Brandon is reminding me to tell everybody, please subscribe and hit that little button so that you're aware of any videos that I put up, because I'm kind of liking what is going on here. So that'll work well. So yes, self-promotion, please subscribe and click that little bell so that when I do things, you'll be able to see it. All right. So, Els, let me get to your question here. Again, I'm getting more focused in my spiritual journey and was wondering what I should be mindful of. Okay, so let's pull this one for Els and see what we have here. Okay, so the first thing, Els, is the 5 of Swords. All righty. Now, here's an interesting thing about the 5 of Swords, and we're talking about in this card. Now, is he picking up spoils, like people are dropping their swords and he's taking them? Are they walking away from a battle? You know, that sort of thing. So, Els, this looks like leaving what you don't need behind anymore. You know what I mean? So it looks like it was a bit of a battle, but now it's time to be done with that. To me, 5s a lot of the time has to do with some sort of discourse, maybe chaos at some point in your life. And being that it had to do, your question had to do with spirituality, you might want to think of maybe there was some sort of conflict at some point. So Els, that's the first card that I get out of this. So the second card actually really does touch on this. So here is something that I learned about this card. Is the sunset overcoming the light? Is the sunset overcoming the darkness, you know, where you see the yellow? Or is the darkness overcoming the light? That's one thing. Now, take a look that the swords are stabbing this person all up and down the spine, but there's no active blood. All right? It's a red, piece of fabric that's on him. And he's laying down and his hands are in this position, which means benediction, forgiveness. Sometimes it's a person in power that will use this. But the way I look at this, depending on the situation, Els, is this or is this about old issues? So when this card comes up, I was taught that it's almost like the resurrection card, because if you were to pull out the swords that stab you, and that's like one at a time dealing with situations, then the sunlight will overcome the darkness. If you decide to keep those swords in, then the darkness will overcome. Yes, Amaris, if you would, we're doing 3 card readings. So post your question there and I will get to it. So Els, I hope that makes sense. It looks as if you have to cut away at this point, Els, in order for you to be clear and concise in regards to your spiritual journey. And now look at this. Now we have the Ace of Wands. So this is a gift being given to you if you would cut away what you no longer, it's almost like a purge, right? So Els, I live in a tiny little place, me and my hubby, right? So what we just did was purge everything, cut away anything we don't need. I really downsized the material things and got rid of a lot of stuff. So as a result, it actually left a lot more room for other things. So think about that in a spiritual end. Try to focus a little bit more according to this. Get rid of those past indiscretions, the things that you hold on to that take up real estate in your heart that you don't need anymore. again, spiritual. And then we have this wonderful gift. So Els, this looks very good for you. It's a bit of a journey. I'm glad we did this on the full moon for you. All right. So I hope that made sense. All righty. So Amaris Cunningham, what will the outcome if you reconcile with Tyler? Okay, so let's look at this. So let me shuffle this and see what we've got here. Els, I hope that made sense. If you would just give me a little thumbs up or an additional question or something like that, let me know if that would work. So I'm just shuffling my cards right now. Okay, what will the outcome be if I reconcile with Tyler? Okay, Amaris, I'm going to show you the 3 cards that I pulled. Okay, so card 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so the first card that I have is the Queen of Pentacles. All right, you're welcome, Els. I just wanted to make sure you got the information. So the first card, Amaris, that I pulled is the Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles has to do with money and or the element of earth, a very earthy thing. Sometimes queens can be kind of motherly at times, and you could see that she's sitting there looking at the money. She's holding on to that. Blue, there's a lot of emotion there. There's a lot of yellow, which is a successful endeavor, but it also means hard work. To me, Pentacles also has to always has to do with the work put into a situation. Now, we have the 7 of Cups. Now, Cups has to do with love and emotion. All righty. Now, it doesn't necessarily in this card, Amaris, mean that it's romantic, but let's see where we're going from. Because this says you can pick from whatever cup you want. And so you have to pick and choose wisely. This is my interpretation of this cup, of this card. It's not necessarily, what you see in books. This is my take on this particular card. So which love will you take? You have it. Obviously, you have more than one choice. Even though you're talking about one person, you don't necessarily have one choice according to this card. All righty. Now, the next card is the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is strongly tied with the Strength card as well. All right, because you see a strong character in a chariot that is being pulled by these 2 sphinxes, which are very, very strong creatures here. And there's balance, right? One is white, one is black. But this has to do with moving away from a situation. All righty. So my thought, okay, Amaris, and I hope that this is okay. All righty. And please, you know that tarot is advice. I think, according to what I see here, it's probably not that stable a relationship at this point. All righty. Because this is saying that there are other choices that you can make at this point. All right. It's just a 3-card reading, and I'm not able to really pull a lot out of that right now. But we can at some other point, or if you want me to do a regular reading, because I do readings on Skype and I do readings on Facebook Messenger. So I could do a lot of those things, Amaris. So if you want more, you were feeling the same way. Okay. See, when it comes to things like this, sometimes I have a hard time with its ethics and how to give the information out, because I don't want to blast anybody. But when I see those many cups, this says that you have other options as well, and that if need be, Tyler is not the only game in town. All righty. So I'll just show that to you again, just so you could see where I'm coming from, and maybe you get your own take on that. But you could see these 3 cards. And so to me, the movement is indicated here. All righty. So I hope that makes sense to you. And if you would, Amaris, let me know if I did. All righty. I get a lot of Yeah, I get that, Els. I totally understand that. Facebook is a bit more stable because they use Skype for their messenger, but I have to make use of both platforms, and I'll still be doing videos a lot. Oh, you're welcome, Amaris. And again, if anybody out there, please subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell. Basically, what I found out, and some of you already know this, that I can't use a mobile device if I have less than 1,000 subscribers. So I'm trying to get my subscriber list up there so that I can use my phone and my iPad to do these live broadcasts and stuff. So if I go to an event or I go to a festival and stuff like that, I'd like to be able to broadcast live using YouTube. So that's their new rules, because I used to broadcast live all the time on YouTube without that new regulation that is on there. So is there anybody else that would like me to do a 3-card reading for them? There's a couple of people out there, so we can do that. Okay, let's see what we got. So if not, let me do another reading out there. So let's see what we got here. So we know that I pulled a card that said the moon. So obviously, pay attention to that. So that's great advice in general. So it's something that I would suggest for everybody to do in your own way, to go out there, charge your crystals, charge your cards. If you are like me and I will honor the moon, I will do that this evening. It's the last full moon of the, I guess I call it the mundane or the Greco-Roman calendar. So it's the last full moon of the regular New Year. Alrighty, and I'm sorry about those interruptions, Els. All right, so in regards, as a follow-up to the other reading that I did here, let me just see if anybody else wrote that. Okay, thanks, Els. Thank you for subscribing. You're awesome. It let me know real time that you did that. All righty. So let's follow up a bit on what we have going on. And in fact, let me, because I am at my desk, I wanted to see where we are, what sign we are in as well, because then I could do that. So today is okay. So we are in void, of course. Okay, so void, of course, is at 9:12 tonight. Okay, so basically, wait, today is Thursday. So we are in full moon. Moon is entering Cancer. All right, so what I'm going to do is do a reading for all of you wonderful Cancer people out there, okay? Oh, yes, Maria. That is possible too. I would just do that for my rock show at some point. All righty. So I will do YouTube, and I'll be able to do that on I'd have to have my computer on with me as well as a mobile device, because that's what I would have. So I have to figure out the logistics about that, Maria. So I'm going to do a 3-card reading for all of you Cancers today, because you're going into Cancer today according to my almanac here. And I use an astrological so the moon enters Cancer at 6:23 tonight. All righty. And we are done with void, of course, as of now. Okay, so let me explain just a little bit. I use an almanac all the time, or the witch's calendar, or anything like that, in order to help me with my spell work. Why do I look tired today? So with that in mind, the moon is going into Cancer. Now, my hubby's a Cancer, so this would also apply to him. But void, of course, means the moon has left one sign but hasn't quite entered the next one yet. So it's usually recommended that you don't do any spell work in that time per se. And once it's over, then you go and you can do that spell work. So we avoid, of course, and the moon, or I should say, we're going into Cancer at 6:23. All righty. So here is a 3-card reading for all of you people who are Cancers. All righty. So let's look at this. All righty. All right. So the first card for any of you Cancers out there, or anybody who has partners who are Cancers, you could see this card. So it's the 6 of Swords. And you can see that with this card, somebody is moving away from waters that are a little rough here to waters that are very calm. They're leaving things behind. They're moving on to bigger and better things. Sometimes that's hard to do. All right. Okay, for all of you emotional Cancers out there. Now we have the 4 of Cups. Okay, you Cancers. So you see the cups. Cups has to do with love and emotions. But boy, this person is sitting there by this tree, a little bit stubborn when it comes to their emotions. I know I'm right. I know this is the way that needs to be done. Or if there's a problem with someone, you know that there's no bending at this point. So I'm holding on to that. And for the next card, Cancers, King of Wands. Now, in my opinion, a lot of Cancers are very, very creative. All righty. So be on your game when it comes to this. So I'm looking at this for a full moon reading for Cancer. So this is what we have here. So Cancers, get on your game. Stop being so emotional about things. Get creative and get moving. So this is a good time for you to do this starting with today's full moon. All righty. So that is it for Cancers. I'm looking at what Maria wrote. There's a beautiful device that clips to a desk, holds your phone, and provides light. I bought it on Amazon. It was less than $20. That is awesome, Maria. That is absolutely wonderful. You know what, Maria, if you can, send me a link. I would love to see that. So I think I explained just a little bit about void, of course. But if you also work with a little bit of astrology and / astronomy, I do a little bit, but I'm not an astrologer. But I always use these little almanacs to let me know where the moon is at, so I know when full moon is, new moon. These are really great tools, people, and I would suggest you use it if possible. Alrighty, so we can get into spell work and other things like that at another time. But I do go into things a lot more deep in Facebook. I have my Breeds Closet Tarot and Divination Forum. Feel free to join that if you're not on there already. And we'll be doing more things like this. So it's actually a really good time for you Cancers to get some work done because of that creativity card. So you're in Cancer up until Saturday. So it's a good time to get things going. Good full moon energy on there. Alrighty. So I think I'm going to end this stream. I said a half hour would be what I'm looking for. Shameless self-promotion again. Please, if you would, join, subscribe to this channel, and I'll be able to do an awful lot more once I start to see the subscribership go up and I can figure out where I'm going on this. All righty, and I will see everybody soon. There'll be a lot more definites and more scheduled or more regular scheduled for these things, and I will take it from there. So leave any comments down in the little box below. And hey, Tessa, before I go, do you want me to do a 3-card reading for you? Because I'm going to get ready to go in just a few minutes if you're just signing on. All righty. So join. I'll see you soon. Let me see if Tessa has anything for me. It's nice to see a lot of comments here. because I'd like to go back and see what everybody has. And I've been reading for Tessa for God knows how long. Right, Tessa? Okay. I see two. Oh, that's great. I see 2 thumbs up. Okay. Have an awesome day, everybody. Oh, please. Okay, Tessa's saying please. So before I go, all right, Tessa, I'm gonna leave it with Tessa's being the last question, and then we'll go. So go ahead, honey. I'm doing 3 card readings today, and then we'll end the show with your question. So what have you got for me, darling? Let's see what we got. 20 plus years. Yep, we've known each other that long. I have a lot of clients that have been with me for almost 25 years, something like that. So I do a lot, but I wanted to try this forum now and see where we're going. All right, Tessa, let me know what you've got, and then we'll take it from there. And Maria, send me that link if you can. That would be really nice. All righty. All right. So in the meantime, I'm shuffling. Health as usual. Okay. So let me see what we got going on here. See what we have here. All right. Wish the lighting here was a little bit better. I look all washed out. 3 surgeries coming up. Okay. So let me. All right. So let's pull this because this is a pretty heavy one. All right, so the first card that we have here is the 9 of Pentacles. So, Tessa, again, I always associate Pentacles with hard work. There's no doubt about that. Money and or the elements of earth, okay? But generally, you can see that this person is in a garden and that money has grown and looks pretty comfortable here. So let's see what we've got here. So we started with a very good card. There's a lag coming in. I'm sorry, honey. Now we have the Lovers. Now, I know we're talking about health, but Lovers also has to do with partnership. That could be between you and the doctors, you and the health department. It could even be you and your lover. In other words, helping one another out. There's a relationship here. All righty. And the end of the old, the beginning of the new. Tessa, looking at this, to be honest with you, I think you're taking a change. Something is changing here, and I'm going to have to do a 4 card reading because it looks as if your course of treatment is changing or how you're addressing your health issues. There's a change in treatment, or maybe it's a change even in the doctor. You know what I mean? But there's a change happening here. And I'm going to draw one more card on top of this. And then the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. This is a road in front of you. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything and say, hey, everything is going to be perfect. Everything is going to be great. I think overall, you're switching rheumatologists. And yes, good. According to this, that is a very, very good thing to do. I don't know why, but it is there. Did all the tests. Good. This is confirming that. So I'm really, really happy about that. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So he or she is getting down the business, trying to figure out what is going on here. Because that's what knights do. They don't sit on their butts. They work hard at it. So I think I'm just taking off my sweater because I am very warm right here now. I think you made the right decision in changing the rheumatologist, and your course of action is actually going to benefit you. And that's what I'm looking at here with this 4 card reading, because I needed to clarify stuff. So I hope that made sense to you. It was the right decision to make. And I think in the overall, it looks good, but it's still a hard road. It's not all, fluffy bunny unicorns and rainbows floating around all over the place. Not that I read that way anyway, but you get where I'm coming from on that. So that is my reading for you, Tessa. And for anybody, you can see that when I'm confused, I will also throw one more card to clarify. Hello, IDK. That's what I'm seeing. So, Tess, I hope that made a lot of sense. Alrighty, and I think, yep, we're at the half-hour mark. So I think it's about time for me to get moving. I'm here at the store. If you're interested in contacting me for any questions, you could contact me in the comments here, or if you go to Breed's Closet Tarot and Divination Forum, we have a lot going on there. You know, a lot of comments and a lot of sharing of readings and all that other sort of stuff. So that's good there too. And again, if you would subscribe, hit that little bell so that when I'm on again, it would be very nice. Thank you. Love you. Darcy and I are coming over. Yay. I get people visiting me at the store. So many blessings, everybody. Thank you for giving me the encouragement here and all the good questions here, because that really gets me going, because I love the tarot so much. So this was kind of a test. So I wanted to see where this was all going. So many blessings, everybody, and we'll be back soon. Okay? Bye-bye.